Good afternoon, students. Today's class, I would like to revise about political science, first chapter, power share. So, in this class, once again, I would like to revise power share. See, you all of you knows that in this journey, I mean the democracy, already we started last year only. And this year again it is going to be continued through the entire whatever we are learning. So now this chapter it is about power sharing. That means the political power, the state power or the government power. So this concept we are going to learn with, especially with the example of Belgium and with the example of Sri Lanka. So here there is a the two different countries and whatever even both the democratic countries. So when they were followed the different policies, so the both also after studying, then we can understand why power sharing is essential in democracy. Why power sharing is essential in democracy. Then we can understand that the significance of the power sharing in a democratic system. Now let us discuss about the Belgian case. Belgium, it is one of the small country in Europe continent. A small one. Even this is smaller than our Haryana state. Then it has borders with France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. And the population of the Belgium also, it is too less. Even we cannot compare with the population of Karnataka also. It is a very less. So it has a population about a little over 1 crore. That's all. See, the ethnic composition, the ethnic the ethnic composition of Belgium, it is very complex. So already we all of you knows that what is the meaning of ethnic. What is the meaning of ethnic? So in the previous session, I told about the ethnic in a simple way, that is about a social division based on shared culture. Are you getting, dear students? So ethnic groups, that means a social division based on shared culture. People belonging to the same ethnic group believe in their common descent because of similarities of physical type or cultural or both also. Physical or cultural or both also. Say, they need not always have the same religion or nationality also. So this social division, which was based on shared culture now, that we used to call as a ethnic. So here in the Belgium case, the ethnic composition it is very complex. The composition of this it is like that. The total population of Belgium. So there are 59% of the people, 59% of the people. So they were all lives in the Flemish region. They were all lives in the Flemish region. And those who are lives in this Flemish region, so they are speaking Dutch language. They are speaking Dutch language. And after these students, the 40% of the people, so they live in Wallonia region. Okay, they live in Wallonia region, and they are speaking French language. Those who are lives in the Wallonia region, the 40% of the total population, so they speak French language. And what about remaining? So 1% of the people, remaining 1%. What about this 1% of this remaining people? So these 1% of the Belgians, they speak German language. So this is what the ethnic composition of Belgium. See here, the Belgians, those who are lives in a different regions, so they were all belongs to different ethnic groups, and even so they are speaking a different language also. 59% of the people, they live in Flemish region and they speak Dutch language, and 40% of the people, they live in the Wallonia region and they speak French language, and remaining 1% of the Belgians, they speak German language. So this is about the whole country. This is about the whole country. And what about the capital city of the Belgium? So this is the ethnic composition of Belgium. And the capital city of the Belgium is Brussels. So here again we can see the different. In the Brussels, 80% of the people speak French, and 20% of the people speak Dutch. So this is about the capital city of Belgium, Brussels ethnic composition. So here one thing you have to please try to concentrate. So in the whole country, there we can see those who are lives in a Flemish region. So they are majority in the group because they are all the 59% of the people, they are speaking Dutch language. Okay, but the capital city of Belgium in Brussels, so there are very less. Only 20%. So there we can see the majority, but here we can observe that. So numerically, the number of population, those who are speaking Dutch is very less. In throughout the country, the same day students, the 40% of the people, they speak French language. In the whole country, especially those who are lives in Wallonia region. Okay, and the capital city of Belgium in Brussels, 80% of the people, they speak a French language. So there here we can see, so the majority of the people in the capital city, they speak French language. So here the minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. So basically we can understand that the people, those who are speaking French language, so they were relatively rich and powerful. So this was resented by the Dutch speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education much later. So in Belgium, so the Dutch community, those who are speaking Dutch language, actually, so they got the economic benefits and even the developments and even the education and all much later. So this led to tensions between the Dutch speaking and French speaking communities. So why? Because now here the less number of the people, they are very powerful and they are very wealthy people, and then what we call uh, rich and powerful. But the majority people, those who are speaking Dutch, so the Dutch speaking community, so those who are got actually the benefit of economic development and also education very late. And this led to tensions between the Dutch speaking and then the French speaking communities, especially during 1950s to and 1960s. 1950s to 1960s. So during this time, so there we can see the tensions between the both the communities, and especially this was more acute in Brussels because Brazil presented a special problem. We all of you knows that, because here the Dutch speaking people constituted a majority in the country but minority in the capital. Now let us compare this with the another country, with Sri Lanka. I hope, dear students, you all have understood about the ethnic composition of Belgium and as well as the ethnic composition of the Brussels, and even so during 1950s to 1960s, so the condition between these two language speaking communities. Now let us discuss about the Sri Lanka case. See, in Sri Lanka, it is very different. So anyhow, let us discuss about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. So dear students, Sri Lanka, it is also one of the small, and even it is the neighboring country of our India also. It is very close to our country. And the population of Sri Lanka also very less. It has about 2 crore people. See, like South Asian region, even the Sri Lanka has a diverse population. The major social groups are Sinhala speakers in Sri Lanka. The major here, Sinhala speakers. So 74% are getting these students. The 74% of Sri Lankans, so they are speaking Sinhala language. And again there is a dear students, Tamil speaker also. Tamil speakers. It is about 18%. Are getting these students? See here, again, among Tamils, there are 2 subgroups. Among Tamils, there are again 2 subgroups. So one is called as a Sri Lankan Tamils, or they used to call as a Tamil natives of the country, or Sri Lankan Tamils. Okay, and then the another one sector, so those were called as a Indian Tamils. Indian Tamils. So dear students, here The native Tamils, those who are called as even the Sri Lankan Tamils, were 13%. 13%. So here actually the rest out of 80%, the rest, that means remaining the 5% of Tamils. So especially, so actually during colonial period, whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers. Understood now? So those who are called as Indian Tamils. So Indian Tamils are actually whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during colonial period. Okay. So here the Sri Lankan Tamils are concentrated in the north of and east of the country. North and east of the country. And most of the Simhala speakers, so they are actually the followers of Buddhism. Most of the Simhala speakers, they were all the followers of the Buddhism. And the Tamils, so the Tamils actually is including Hindus and Muslims. Tamils, they are actually both Hindus and Muslims. And also dear students, 7% of the people, so those who are the followers of Christianity. Got it now? So there are about 7% of Christians. Here, these about 7% of Christians, those who are speaking even both Tamil and Sinhala, both the languages. Tamil and Sinhala. I hope dear students, you may understood about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. So please keep it in your mind. So Sinhala speakers 74% and Tamil speakers 18%. And among Tamil speakers, there are two groups. Native Tamils are Sri Lankan Tamils, about 13%, and rest of the Tamil speakers are Indian Tamils, actually whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during the colonial period, and remaining the Hindus also, Muslims, and here these Tamils, they are Hindus also, Muslims also, and about 7% of the people, they are following Christianity, and these Christians, they are speaking both the language also, Sinhala and as well as Tamil. Now you can just imagine what could happen the situation like this. What could happen? In Belgium, the Dutch community could take advantage of its numeric majority, because numerically they are majority one, and force its will on the French and the German speaking people. So this would push the conflict among communities further also, and this could lead to a very messy partition of the country also. We cannot say like that. You all of you knows that the best example based on religion, which was divided into two countries, that is about India and Pakistan. Are you getting these students? See, there are so many chances. And even the condition of Brazil. So in Sri Lanka actually, the Sinhala speakers, those who are following the Buddhism, so they were majority one. So there was no doubt in Sri Lanka, the Sinhala community enjoyed even a bigger majority and could impose its will on the entire country. So in the both the case, how they were solved these ethnic problems, even in Sri Lanka and even in Belgium. That we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.